There's a restaurant in the hotel. There's a restaurant in the hotel. There's a restaurant in the hotel.
Since then, reindeer have also been used for transport, for example, for pulling sleds. Since then, reindeer have also been used for transport, for example, for pulling sleds. The controller then tells the input to turn off the power as the water is already boiling. The controller then tells the input to turn off the power as the water is already boiling.
Their first day at work was successful. Their first day at work was successful. Their first day at work was successful.
An important example of the latter is spotting the partner during turns, especially free spins. An important example of the latter is spotting the partner during turns, especially free spins.
Despite graduating years ago, he still has access to his university email account. Despite graduating years ago, he still has access to his university email account.
Now, the telephone and email are the most common means of distance communication. Now, the telephone and email are the most common means of distance communication. Now, the telephone and email are the most common means of distance communication.
The position of a person is their status or responsibility in a community or group of people. The position of a person is their status or responsibility in a community or group of people.
These tea rooms often double as bakeries so that tea and pastries are enjoyed together. These tea rooms often double as bakeries so that tea and pastries are enjoyed together. These tea rooms often double as bakeries so that tea and pastries are enjoyed together.
The games added many new things such as a breathing and new bag system. The games added many new things such as breathing and a new bag system. When it moves all the way around the clock, the minute hand moves forward one space. When it moves all the way around the clock, the minute hand moves forward one space.
I felt very sorry that I had put them to so much trouble. I felt very sorry that I had put them to so much trouble. I felt very sorry that I had put them to so much trouble.
At first, they were surprised about winning, but that feeling soon changed into pride. At first, they were surprised about winning, but that feeling soon changed into pride. At first, they were surprised about winning, but that feeling soon changed into pride. As they presented their proposed solution, the audience in the room listened carefully. As they presented their proposed solution, the audience in the room listened carefully. As they presented their proposed solution, the audience in the room listened carefully.
Whether an observed behavior is repeated depends on the outcome of that behavior. Whether an observed behavior is repeated depends on the outcome of that behavior. Whether an observed behavior is repeated depends on the outcome of that behavior. It's going good. I'm really enjoying it. Yeah, it's a lot of work. But it's really interesting to see how everything works and to be a part of the process. Yeah, definitely. I'm just glad that we were able to get these positions. Absolutely. Everything is really organized and planned out ahead of time, which makes our jobs a lot easier.
What do you do to make a good first impression on people?
That's an interesting question. I have never thought about that, but I assume that the most important thing is to show that, to express that they are relevant to you somehow. So you have to look them in the eye, you have to keep a good posture, to be kind, and also to let them speak about themselves. Maybe you can ask one or two questions that are not intrusive, and maybe after the answer you can like maybe reply something about it, or I don't know, just something that let them know that you are listening to them carefully. Also, some people like to say, okay, it's very nice to meet you, I hope we can share a cup of coffee later on, but they don't really mean it. So I don't agree with that. I think that if you ask for the number or something like that, or if you say that you're gonna meet someone later, you actually have to do it, because otherwise that is dishonest. So being an honest person, I think that is also very important. And maybe you can introduce yourself also, like speaking about your job, because maybe you can, like, the other person might need you in the future. I can see two workers repairing a rail station, and I can see a train, a parked train, that is painted red, and it looks like old-fashioned, or maybe not old-fashioned. I think it's cool somehow. And the two workers are wearing like orange jackets or uniforms, and they have like silver stripes, so they like get reflected, and they can avoid like being crushed by cars or any other things. Okay, the background is cloudy. It looks like a cold day, and you can see many buildings, many trees in the background, and some hills. You can see a lot of pebbles as well, and the two men are like really focused on their duty. It looks like a very challenging job, and you can see the front glass, which I would say the windshield, because that is how it's called. And the two men are wearing, one of them is wearing a fedora hat, whereas the other man is wearing a black cap. Okay, finally, an easy question or so, I think. My favorite subject back then at the school was biology. And the reason why I like it is because I am a very curious person. Like, I don't know, maybe I like to know a lot about everything, and especially the universe. That includes physics. But biology is even more interesting to me, because we are like living things, and we are like very, very complex machines that, I don't know, that maybe we are too good to be true, like the fact that we are alive, that we could evolve. So I was very curious about how the cells worked, like the organs of the body and all those things. And that's why I like it. When I was a child, I remember that I used to read like books about biology. I was like in third grade of elementary school, but I have read like sixth grade and all the high school books about biology, not because it was like requested by someone else, but because I truly enjoy it. That's the reason why it is important to me, but I didn't study that as a major. But maybe in the future, who knows, I can like study something about that. the last day that I spent time out in nature was 1 week ago. I was feeling like depressed. Well, not depressed, but I was feeling a bit like blue. Well, I know. But so I decided to go for a stroll. I thought that it would be like maybe 5 minutes, well, like half hour or so, like a quick stroll. But it ended up like being like 3.5 hours walk because I don't know. I was not planning to go like to see the nature. I was just planning to go to nearby mall. But once I got there, I decided to explore a little bit more the city. So I know that it's strange, but I don't know. We are humans. Sometimes we make strange things, weird things. So I decided to. I took a look at Google Maps. There was like a very beautiful park that was very close to my location. So I just kept walking. It took me like probably 1.5 hours to go there. I know it was crazy, but I got there. I could like take like many pictures, many photos, and it was a relaxing moment. Although I was very tired, and I could have taken like the public transport to get back home, but I just decided to go to get back home walking, and so I did. So did I. So I had never mind. So I just kept walking, and I was so tired when I finally got home. Well, I think that people like to spend time in outdoors because it's relaxing. I think that is the most important reason. Sometimes you just want to feel different, to breathe fresh air, and maybe to see the things from a different viewpoint. That is what happened to me that day. Okay, and I think that this definitely affects the quality of life because I know people that live in different cities that are like very gray, like the view, the looks. And when they come to a city that has a lot of greenery, like this one or like Medellin, many of them say that they don't want to get back to their own cities because the vibe is just different. They feel like more refreshed here, and they say that the quality of the air is better, and they feel like younger, or so they say.